ਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
Hello, my name is Maryam and welcome to my channel. Today's pick a card read is how do others see me? Now it's important that I stress to you, this isn't about judgment. This isn't about somebody judging you. This is more about what are you putting out there? What are you putting out there and how are people perceiving that? Because a lot of times we think we are behaving a certain way or putting something out there a specific way and it's being perceived very differently, which is why it's so important for us to have that daily meditation practice so that we can really know, feel, and be tuned in to who we are, what we say, thinking before we say it. That's why that daily practice is so important. So again, understanding this isn't about passing judgment. This is about, okay, ideally you would say, yeah, that's how I would think people would view me or see me. That would be the hope, or the takeaway is, okay, I need to work on that. That makes a lot of sense. So let's get started. Card one, how do others view me? I'm someone that's a somewhat zen, calm. Not sure if you feel that on the inside, but you are viewed as someone that takes on a lot and shows themselves as someone that remains calm, remains clear-headed. Again, even if that's not how you feel, that's how you're being perceived. And one that is connected to the earth, connected to animals, someone who is just overall does their best to be grounded. This feels like you are someone who consciously makes an effort to be grounded, who is aware of your diet, aware of exercise, aware of your body, aware of, thinking before you speak. This is and you're being perceived that way. What you are showing the world is what people are seeing, which is a beautiful thing. If you are none of these things, I feel like that's your potential and you're missing that opportunity to show yourself that way. This card in particular is a man in meditation. So if you aren't that person, it's time for you to find meditation, because you can be and you are supposed to be that person. But I feel like for most of you watching, you're like, okay, yeah, I do. I that morning run really grounds me. I would say take it to another level and add to the morning run a silent meditation before you do it. But it seems like you are being perceived as who you are. I do feel like you need to watch that you're not stifling things to continue this persona, which the persona is not fake. I'm not saying by any means you're giving off anything phony, but for your own health, make sure that you are taking care of you and releasing energy and emotions that you held together for others that you don't need to hold together anymore. Make sure you have that outlet to cry, yell, scream, do what you have to do. And I say this in a very gentle way because overall you really have things figured out. Card two, others see you as a dreamer. They see you as someone who's maybe even a little or a lot artistic. Sometimes you have your head in the clouds. Sometimes you're not perceived as totally present, meaning you're there physically, but you're not totally. They feel like maybe they're not being heard. They're feeling like you're not always totally right there when someone's talking to you, whether it's as a friend or giving instruction. There's this like a little flightiness that they're perceiving you as. And for you, that might be, no, I mean, I'm listening. Or I feel like too, some of you may be saying, well, sometimes the energy is too much for me. And so I have to distract myself while they're talking or do something else. And really, it's important that you learn how to manage energy. That's your job, how to manage you and the energy around you. And so it's important that you find that, because you're being perceived as someone who's flighty, kind of has their head in the clouds, isn't totally present, and doesn't always make conscious, direct decisions. And none of that's not all necessarily all bad, but we definitely want to balance. You know, having being a little flighty, having your head in the clouds lends itself to phenomenal creativity opportunities, meditation, but being able to show people that you can also be grounded, make solid decisions, that's also really, really important. Card 3, how others view you. Card 3, you're seen as someone who brings people together. You're kind of the hub, the center, maternal, supportive, community. You really do think of others first. You're there to help people. You do your best to help. Listening a little bit better would be good for you, even though people are just like, she's always there, she's solid, but sometimes they feel like you have so much going on and you're helping so many people that they aren't always feeling heard, and they're not wanting to say anything because they don't want you to, you know, think, wow, I don't do enough now, I'm not hearing you. It's not that, it's just how it's perceived. You're just perceived as someone that isn't always able to give 100% individually, but you give 100% as a community, if that makes sense. Bringing people together, solving problems, being part of a community, bringing others into the community, and like fixing problems all the time, fix, you know, and being compassionate and loving. But when it comes down to it, can you really hear someone, and you're always distracted by being of service to others? It sounds like it's not a real problem, but for you, it means you need to be a little more grounded. You need to be a little bit more selfish with a daily practice so that your energy is full, so that listening is almost a break for you. It's almost an opportunity to shut out the rest of the world, relax, and listen to someone else.